Welcome to Dungeon Port Studios. This is Capper and I, and it's time for us to do our schedule again. So here is stuff we found. Okay, I made up my schedule, but we're gonna use this as a chance to look at stuff at the journal. Here's stuff we found, like fossil remains, refers to any animal remains, bones, teeth, horn, shell, antler, etc. Handling them can reveal hunting practices, diets, and climate. When excavated, their size and location are measured. Tiny bones can simply be placed in a bag unless a cluster of them are discovered. So that's what we found in the cave. Here's stuff we found. Coprolite. Ooh. Fossilized feces. Yeah. But they provide us information. Oh. They are cave formations. Here's this. Cave formations created by mineral deposits carried by water. Common formations as stalactites and stalagmites. So this is just a general term for both. Okay, we're gonna look at relationships. Oh, Shoji, that like almost free full hearts. Not surprised. No, clicking on that reveals like more information underneath their photo for some reason. I don't know, I'm thinking about a different game, aren't I? So Deandre is second. Not surprised. Wait, no, he's not second. He just looks like it because you're going down in this. No, Hendrik likes me more than Deandre. Okay, so Shoji, Hendrik, Deandre, Kyler, and then Joan. We haven't gotten to. We don't get to interact with her all that much yet. So journal stats. Okay, so here's everything, and we're gonna let's pause. I mean, not pause, but save real quick just to make sure and play. Yay! Go to the lab. I like watching these cute little animations. You have 5 more objects to clean in the lab today. Good luck. Oh no. Oh, I don't like this one. Let's do this. Check. 24. That's still too dirty. That's not considered close enough. I was right about this being 7. Okay, if I had done that, so 8 plus 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus that, I could have gotten closer. 9. Ooh. I'd rather it be more dirty than break it. 9. So let's assume that's 8. Or would that be more like 7? 2, 3, 4. Let's just do this one. Check. 13. Oh, that's close. Nice and clean. 14. That's still too dirty. Oh, come on. 16. What? Alright. It's not really too much of a pattern aside from, but at least we did a decent job, so I mean, as long as it's decent, we're not failing, right? Lithic reduction. Augustin, why did this vertebra look so pitted? Looks like silly cave bear got eaten by a smart hyena or lion. Those are bite marks attacking the interior vertebral column. Hyena or lion? In what? We're at the Netherlands again or something? Why can't I remember? Yeah, we're there. So like, hyena and lion, that seems weird. And lower spine, petite fleur. So, small flower. I squealed on my seat as the brush poked my back. If that is from layer A2GR, I believe we already have 3 bones from that same animal. Must be tough piecing it all together. Huh. Probably is. We have collections going back to 80s. We are still seeing pieces found decades apart. Man, did people always know about this cave? How was it found? Yeah, it'll be cool to learn about the stuff here. You aware of popular movie with an archaeologist who carries whip? Oh yes. I guess we can't say it. Because of that movie, many kids were inspired and explored the region pretending to find treasure. Silly kids stumble on cave here. Who knew an accurate portrayal of archaeology would lead to a real archaeological discovery? I wonder how many times that has happened. We still get an occasional student who is disappointed this cave is not a booby-trapped temple. I would lose all my help if that was the case. Maybe it is, and we just haven't dug the traps up yet. If so, you will be the first to find out. I guess we would be since we're working on it, huh? He laughed and excused himself and glanced at the chewed bone. Maybe I should dig on a higher level instead. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, fail. He keeps getting hit. Poor him. Completely famished by this morning's task, I scooted onto the bench with a bowl of mushroom soup. Mushroom soup? Ew. I don't like mushrooms. Grabbing a slice of Swiss cheese, I teared it and dropped the pieces into the soup. What are you doing? Adding cheese to my soup? Is that what people do in America? It's what I do. I guess it's common enough. I haven't really thought about it. I don't eat mushroom soup, so I don't know. I don't like it. But I like adding cheese to my chili. I also like adding a bit of lime to my chili. But that's the only thing I can think about. That would be... Almost everyone adds cheese to their chili, at least. A few seats down, I noticed Kyler also eyeing my actions before silently returning to his meal. Was adding cheese to soup really that bizarre? I don't know. Because I don't do it unless it's chili, but chili is like... chili. It's not really soup. I mean, it sort of counts, right? I heard a holler behind us, and many of us automatically turned our heads toward the driveway. A tall woman dragged a suitcase behind her while her free hand waved toward one end of the eating area. Hendrik immediately stood up and approached her. Colleague? Rose, glad you could finally make it. I didn't think you'd arrive this early. No thanks to you, Rose-Marie. You practically ditched me in the middle of those core samples. What can I say? Analyzing core samples is boring. Oh no, don't pun around with me, Mr. Atheologist. Her stern expression faded, and they both exchanged a cordial grin as they leaned in for a cheek kiss. August and Sherry gathered around her as well. Would it be okay to introduce myself too? Say hello, or maybe later. Oh, let's see what's going on. It couldn't hurt, besides she was part of the main excavation team, right? I knew Sherry would introduce me to her eventually. I sauntered over while Rose gave a greeting kiss to both Augustin and Sherry. My professor smiled and extended an arm to beckon me closer. Ah, is this your summer student, Sherry? I swear they're getting younger and younger every year. Oh no, she's almost a third year. What? I get a lot, don't worry about it. You'll appreciate it as you get older. Anyway, I'm Rose-Marie. She extended her hand and I took it respectfully. And you are? Melissa Flores. Do you work here too? Yes, I'm one of the archaeologists here. I specialize in lithics, stone tools, and all that. Ooh, are we gonna get more, mini-games? She boldly jerked a thumb in Hendrik's direction. Basically, I focus on the rock that Hendrik has no interest in because they've been touched by Neanderthal or early modern human hands. So I guess he doesn't care about them if they've been made into tools and stuff, or been... as long as they're not... when they're not natural, I guess? That's entirely inaccurate, sort of. I may touch upon it a bit, mostly for petrological reasons, establishing geologic resources and trade routes. Rose-Marie here does the technological aspect, the whole get into the mind of a Neanderthal angle, which is a wonderful science in itself. You'll learn many things from Rose-Marie, Melissa. She's an expert flint snapper as well. She provided most of the examples, stone tools you see here. Ooh. Aw, you flatter me, Sherry. I was starting to see there was a wide spectrum of work done in this cave. Sherry focused on bones, Augustin was on context and stratigraphy, Hendrik was all about rocks and sediments, and Rose-Marie on the tools left behind. I mean, if you're gonna find a whole bunch of stuff in a cave, it makes sense for different people to focus on different things, right? I'm glad to see the gang's all here, and thankfully I made in time for lunch. I'm starving. Here, I can take your suitcase for you. Thanks. Did you clean your place? You did arrive earlier than I thought you would. She let out a heavy sigh, lowering her eyelids while Hendrik squirmed uneasily. It's partially my fault anyway. I should have texted ahead. After a step, she pivoted and gave me a little wave and nod. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Melissa. Look forward to my lecture on lithics later in this week. Oh, I still wonder if we could get another minigame. My French is horrid, so Hendrik will have to be the translator for most of the students. Also, it's not her native language. For some reason, I could feel kindling of affinity for that common fact. So we won't have trouble understanding each other. I will. Rosemary and Hendrik continued their conversation as they headed for the museum. Happy with the introduction, I settled back down in my seat, hoping that my soup hadn't gone cold. Hope no one touched it either. That'd be so terrible if they did. But considering how everyone thought it was weird I put cheese in my soup, I don't think they're gonna touch it. Okay, let's go ahead. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 across. I don't mind these. This is easier than the other one. The other one's just more like, kind of like guessing. 1, 2, 3. This, I like this one. You unlocked a new journal entry. V coordinates. These clay sentiments are a pain. We got told that a couple of different times already. I grumbled inwardly as I wiped the sticky dirt off yet again. I was on my knees trying to finish the last 25 centimeters. I did uncover tiny bones, but rationalized they weren't worth sketching in the grid. There was a sound of scraping metal, and I turned to see Hendrik climbing down the ladder behind me. What's he doing? What a rare sight. You're hardly in the cave, Hendrik. What's he doing? I know, as a geologist you'd think it'd be the opposite, but here I am now. He surveyed my square, and I started to get self-conscious, wondering if I was doing something wrong. Hope you don't mind a tight squeeze. He knelt down next to me, and I hastily moved to my haunches, offering him my knee pad. He shook his head. Don't worry about it. I'll just be here for a few minutes. I want to observe your digging techniques. Is he doing this to everyone, or is he picking on us? After I made myself comfortable again, I leaned forward to start excavating. He watched, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. Or is he just making sure no one's accidentally destroying stuff? But now, in week 3? Is your wrist well? Any pain from repetition? Nope. Sherry gave me some pointers to avoid it. Great. Mind if I borrow your trowel for a second? Sure. I cleaned it, handed it over, and he grasped it nimbly. I've noticed your wrist is slightly angled, and you're simply scraping or trailing your trowel through the dirt. It's painfully slow. Isn't archaeology supposed to be painfully slow? I mean, you don't want to hurt the stuff you're trying to dig up, right? He chuckled and held the trowel so it was parallel to the dirt. It is, but even you should be able to dig for a few centimeters a day. Align your trowel like so, then make a nice downward flick with the wrist. The blade of the tool effortlessly sliced through the clay, much cleaner than before. Yay! Go through a bit faster. Don't be afraid to make large cuts. This helps you avoid blurring the sediment lines, as it's neater and easier to distinguish. I guess if you get more of a nicer cross-section, right? Admire his procedure or inwardly panic over him working in the square? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't think this will be too bad. I mean, I don't know. Admire his procedure. His movements were broad yet graceful. It was strange, even with such a simple action, I could tell he experienced. I watched him now. I have to say something obvious here. You're good at this. I've been doing this for years, so I have a slight inkling on how to excavate. I hope so. Also, he extended his arm upward toward the middle of the square. The trowel smoothly grazed over the dirt until it bit into a slope. Your square isn't entirely vertical. If you're worried about digging too far inward, use a ruler to double check. Gonna use rulers? Thanks for the tip, Hendrik. No problem. If you need me again, I'll be happy to assist. Just don't start taking me for granted. Okay, that was cheaty, even for you. Hey, that punt is a classic. He returned the tool to me and stood up, glancing in Kylie's direction. Hendrik rubbed the back of his head, mulling over how to approach him. Finally, he tapped Kyler on his shoulder. Kyler begrudgingly stared at him before activating his implant. Oh, they're going to interact. I guess we haven't seen them interact yet. Kyler's voice struggled to keep an even tone, while Hendrik's voice had a shaky cheerfulness to it. I was wondering if you needed any help or had any questions. I'm fine. I don't need your help. I mean, he's been going there for, 4 years, is what he said before? Kyler returned to the square, ignoring Hendrik, who sighed ruefully. It's not the best time to ask, even my curiosity is killing me. What? They don't get along. Why don't they get along? From what we know about Kyler, that he doesn't want to upset Sherry. And it all started because a female student ran away with some guy, right? I don't think it would be him. It would be funny if it was, because he just doesn't seem like the type to have done that. But that's all we know about Kyler so far, so I can only make so many guesses about what's going on between those two. I returned to my work while Hendrik climbed up the ladder, most likely to make his rounds with the other students. Staring at my trial, I recalled Hendrik's movements, then attempted to mimic them to the best of my ability. Slice cleanly, huh? I inspected the work Hendrik did, and made similarly sized cuts into the soil. The clay was sticky and cumbersome, but it was not as bad when I had my trowel angled. The rest of the day was uneventful, but at least my progress was much better. Yay! I stood up and stretched. It was a good time to take a small break and jot down some notes in my journal. I'm gonna get some fresh air. You know, Kyler, you're gonna get hypoxia if you don't go outside every now and then. And he was listening that time. I'll be fine. Okay, later. We don't really get along too well. We kind of do, but I don't know. Haven't interacted too much either. Tense. Why was the air around here so tense? I pondered that while I stirred my cheese-drenched tomato soup. Both Joan and Chantel, who previously sat and talked with me, had disappeared. Many students paced by the museum entrance. Some checked their phones or glanced over the shoulders of others to view their screens. What is going on? Is this gonna be some European thing if they're all worried about, I don't know, soccer or whatever? Because don't they make a big deal about that there? I don't know. Meanwhile, Deandre spread mustard on the second or third sandwich. At least he seemed unfazed. What's going on? Everyone appears to be anticipating something. Exam results are being released today. Oh, I guess that would make sense. This late? After a casual shrug, he took a large bite of his sandwich. He wiped his mouth before speaking. Usually they're released earlier, but they had some problem with the data or entry system or whatever. They must be super important if everyone looks this anxious. It's a make or break a deal. If students don't average out a certain percentage, they have to repeat a year. Oh no. Let's say right there. You must be nervous then. You seem rather calm, or wish him luck. He does seem rather calm about this. Compared to other students, you aren't sweating bullets. That's because most of them are first or second years. I see. You're probably used to this by now then. Too used to it. Fortunately, this will be my last semester, and then I'm free! Oh, man. It's gonna be a while before I'm done with school, huh? The only thing left is to finish this elective requirement, since I'd hate to waste a semester on a single course. A more expensive course, too. Jealous. At least you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I barely started and it'll never end. Yep. I felt a playful flick on my forehead. It'll be over before you know it. Hang in there. Before I could respond, one of the students announced something in French and everyone tapped away at their phones again. Results are up. From their reaction, Deandre didn't need to clarify. However, he set the sandwich down and fished out his phone. Oh, stay and chat, or he seems occupied, return to the tent area. This will give us a chance to grow closer, but if I go to the tent area, will I run into, Shoji? I don't know why I forgot his name. I was thinking Shiloh, but like, no, wrong game. I don't know. I like him, but I also like Shoji. Kind of like, somewhat equal. Maybe a bit, I like Shoji a bit more. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to end this game ending with someone else. Well, I'll stay in chat. I got a good look at his phone. It was noticeably bigger and clinkier, an older model, and there were dents all over it. Wow, you're not nice to your phone. Have you considered getting one of those protective covers? Those screen protectors? Believe me, I've tried. There's still plastic film all over the side of my desk from attempting to apply those stupid things. Yeah, I just get Ark to do that for me. Of course, whenever I want to use it, my phone slows down. Or maybe it's the website, what with the sheer number of students logging in. He swung one leg over the bench and scanned for someone. Kyler is off to the side, also checking his phone, and Deandre hollered something to him in French. Kyler responded curtly, but took a few steps closer to talk. I wasn't able to follow until Deandre motioned to me. Hey, let's not exclude her. Anyway, are you on the varsity website? Can you check for me? What department? Seriously? That's sweet ass. English department. Kyler paused and glanced at Deandre inquisitively, but said nothing before turning back to his phone. ID? The first numbers are 826, then the 6 again, and last number is 942. You ain't wrong. What'd I get? Your average is 16.48. A little better than last time. Not bad. Is that a good score? What's it out of? Yeah, because total different country. I don't know what their scores are like. 20. I got grand distinction, which is pretty solid. I'm guessing A is in your country? Was this the correct ID I checked? Oh, you don't believe it? Oh, what's this, Kyler? Shocked a pro athlete got good grades? I mean, since they make a big deal about athletes needing good grades or they'll get kicked off the team, it shouldn't be too surprising. Dumb, stereotypes. Smugly, Deandre raised his hands to his head. After making fists, his fingers spread out as he mimicked an exploding sound. Kyler scoffed and glanced down at his phone. Mature. Kidding aside, I reckon you did well too. Cheers, buddy. Don't buddy me. Mate, don't make me either. Wasn't thinking that. After just thinking, Kyler massaged the temples of her broad hand. This conversation is over. It's never good when someone says that a conversation is over. Kyler stalked off and Deandre rolled his eyes toward me. We're getting along so well. Is it still because you nailed him in the face with a rugby ball? Or when you both had cooking duty? Completely forgot about that. And yeah, we didn't get along there either. He was absolutely hopeless in the kitchen, and I really didn't have the patience for it. He can't do anything. Oh, come on. It couldn't have been that bad. Mel, he can't do anything. He failed cooking rice in a rice cooker. It's one thing if you're not able to cook rice like in a pot on the stove, but the rice cooker's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's been a while since I had one. That's bad. That's why if Helena gives me cooking duty, can we pair up from now on? Sure. Sure, you can count on me. Sweet as. Thanks, Mel. With that sort, Deandre excused himself, explaining that he wanted to see his grades in further detail. I returned to my meal, wondering about my own marks. Well, gonna save and gonna stop there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. This is Cap and I signing off. Bye bye.